he said he's perfectly fine with pine because pine is fine. So this will be next year's queen. She'll try to start a nest, but she's not going to get that opportunity because it's crunch time. Today, I'm in the wood yard. I've got people that want wood. I'm going to deliver once again because that's what I do. Here we go. Hello, fellow firewood fanatics. My name is Chris. In case you're here for the first time, welcome to the wood yard. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. This is the place to be, but you know that. Today, I have another couple orders I have to do. The first one is for a full cord of oak. It's right behind me. This is the pile that I checked just the other day for moisture content to see if it was good to go, and it's 16, 17, 18%, so it's awesome. It's all ready to go. And this is wood that was cut last spring, so it's only been here for not even quite a full year yet, but it did have the heat of the whole spring and summer and fall. It's been out in the open. I covered it this fall just before the snow came, so the snow is on top. I just pulled off a bunch of chunks off the top here that were holding the tarp down. I'm going to pull that off, and then we're going to load it up. Now, something I want to talk about. I've been thinking about raising my prices now for, well, a couple of years actually, and this year I finally did it. I was selling wood up till through December of last year for a full cord, $330 for a full cord, $110 for a face cord or third of a cord. And this year I raised my prices $10 per face cord, so a full cord is now $360. And so far, no one has even questioned it. And I've had repeat people, I just tell them, yeah, it's $360 now. And they're like, okay, whatever, just bring it. So nobody's had a problem with it. Even new customers that I've been selling to, I've been selling single face cords or third of a cord for $120. Nobody even blinked an eye. I didn't even have to explain why or anything. They're just like, oh, whatever. I had one guy that I told I was raising my prices because of my costs going up for getting logs because of fuel prices increasing with the cost of heating going up. And he said, oh, that's understandable. He said, he's a truck driver, and he said they have like a 40-some cent per mile surcharge on certain distances, and he was telling me all this different stuff. He said everybody's raising prices, and I had heard that the cost of heating has gone up this year. Well, just this heating season, basically from the fall to now, has gone up between 30 and 40% across the board for everything. So people are kind of expecting it, and I only went up like 10%. So it's really no big deal. So you definitely can charge more. So I'm gonna go back up, get the truck, it's right over here. I'm gonna back the trailer up right in here. We're gonna load this wood up and go deliver it right now. So I just backed up the trailer right here. The full cord is wood is right here. It starts right where this pallet is, going across through here. So I'm going to peel off the tarp, and we're going to start chucking wood. Today is another very cold day. We've had a lot of days that have been in single digits. This morning I got up, it was about 8 degrees, and I think it warmed up to about 12 now. It's supposed to warm up to about 20 later today, but then we're supposed to get some snow. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then the next couple days, it'd be really nice for working outside. I plan on working outside a bunch the next couple days because it's supposed to be around 30 degrees for a couple days, and then it's supposed to plummet down and be around 0 for like another week after that. So it's that time of year when it's cold. So we're going to clear this off, pull the snow to the back, try to keep the wood dry as I can, as much as I can anyway. So I just peel it back like that usually, and then I'm gonna go around to the other side over here, and then I'll just pull it off, and there's a space back here I can walk between, so I'm just gonna pull the snow and the tarp right down into it. Maybe if I can fit my carcass in here. There, that's probably good enough for now. I can start chucking. So yeah, this is some really good wood here. I double checked it with a moisture meter, a couple different pieces, and it's all good to go. So this is some primo stuff here, and it's going to a customer. Like I said, this will be the third load I'm delivering to them this year alone. They texted me last night and said, hey, we've been going through a lot more wood than we normally do. We're burning a lot. Can you bring us another load? I said, absolutely. But I said, it's going to be, instead of 110 a face cord, it's going to be 120. So for a full cord, it's 360. And they said, fine, bring it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm bringing it. So the wood, like I had mentioned a couple times now, it's really going fast this year. I am selling faster than I ever have, and it doesn't seem to matter year in and year out. I always cut more, I always sell more. It just keeps growing, so that's, I guess, a good problem to have. Let's speed this up a bit. What do you say we go into hyperdrive? There it is, another beautiful work of art in which I have created. I looked at my watch when I started, and I just looked at it now when I finished. 34 minutes of wood chucking to take the wood from there to there. Or as my friends across the pond would say, from here to there, or something like that. I don't know. That kind of sounds darky, but that's me. So while I was moving the wood, I found another enemy of the state. Yes, I found another queen yellow jacket hornet buried in the wood. And for those of you that have been watching the channel a while, you know that I'm at war constantly with these. This is a female. For those of you that maybe haven't seen the other videos, they actually get bred in the fall, and then the queens that have basically, they've been impregnated, they crawl off into a chunk of wood somewhere, and I find them all the time in the wood piles here. Sometimes I find two in a pile, sometimes I find just one. This one I just found just this one, and so this will be next year's queen. She'll try to start a nest, but she's not going to get that opportunity because it's crunch time. There we go, decapitated the way it should be. No mercy for the yellow jacket hornets. We're going on the road to deliver this load of wood right now. I am back in the wood yard after my delivery that you just saw, the big dump I did. And my next delivery is not for about another hour or so, but I'm going to get it loaded up right now, and then on my way home I'm going to be delivering it because it's at the end of the day today. This guy wants it delivered. It is for pine, and yes, he's going to burn it in his house. And he said he's perfectly fine with pine because pine is fine. No, that's not what he said. That's what I say. So, just to kind of talk a little bit about the myth of that your house will explode if you burn with pine. For those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, you saw the videos I did when I was out in New Mexico with my brother Ken when we were cutting wood with Jeremy. And that's all they have out there is pine. They have pinyon pine and ponderosa pine, and they have cottonwood, which no one burns because the pinyon pine is very good firewood. And I think a lot of people are, especially in the Midwest, in the eastern part of the United States here, they're afraid of pine because they have other wood to burn. Or it's just a myth that they've been raised with that you can't use pine. My dad is a little bit like that. He thinks pine is not good for firewood because he said it burns too fast. You don't get a lot of heat from it. Well, yeah, it burns a little faster. You don't get as much heat, but it still burns fine. As long as it's dry, just like any other wood, you don't have a problem with creosote buildup. So that's one of the things that a lot of people are they panic over. My brother Eric heats with wood. He has a wood boiler, and one year he burned almost exclusively red pine. And he said it burned just great. He said plenty of heat from it. He put bigger chunks in, and he didn't split it down very small, and it wasn't even totally dry. He said it burned great, so he did not have a problem with it. So I am going to load this wood up right now. This has been sitting here for a while. This is wood I got for free probably about a year and a half ago now. And I'm going to put a face cord or a third of a cord in, and the guy's going to heat his house with it. So we're going to put it in. Now it's been covered with this plastic, kind of. This plastic is kind of starting to disintegrate here. You can see it's getting cracked and it's falling apart, as you can see. I used it for a couple years already now, and when I put it on here, I put on a double layer of it, so the water ran off of it because there was 2 layers of it. But it is done now. It will no longer be a cover for firewood that I'm gonna hang up here. I will be getting rid of it. I'm gonna toss it right after I get it peeled off of here and get all this stuff off. So I'm going to come around over here and I'm going to take the rest of this nastiness off here. Yeah, it's just shredded from the wood rubbing against it as the wind blows. So I'm just going to put it down here in the corner. I'm going to throw a chunk of wood or 2 on top of it. And I'm going to load this wood up. So here it goes. Wood's going in. And when I have pine like this that I'm going to be selling to people that I know are heating with it, I usually have a little bit bigger chunks than some of the hardwood that I have. So they're not small, they're not huge, but they're not tiny either. You can see they're decent sized chunks. And this is the stuff that I actually enjoy sitting by a campfire with pine, more so than any other wood. Oak is boring, locust is boring. It just sits there and burns, doesn't do anything exciting. Pine, you've got life to the fire. You've got life to the party because it pops, it snaps, it cracks, sparks fly. People scream, people run. They get burned occasionally. Add some excitement because you've got flying sparks. Some of these chunks, like some of these that have these knots in them, they burn just excellent. Nice and hot burning. So this will be the very end of this pile that was here on this corner for a long time. I think there's a face cord here. I don't know. I'm going to put in whatever I can get in here from this. I hope there's enough pine here. If not, I've got another pile right over there, and I've got a hoop, so I think I better come back around over here. I almost knocked the whole pile over. Don't want to do that. I've got a bigger pile over there, and I've also got a big, huge pile over there I can draw from, but I wanted to kind of finish this one off, clean it up, so to speak. There's another myth that I'm gonna mention here that a lot of guys mention, people that are new to the channel. If you throw, excuse me, there's a little burp there, a little lunch. If you throw firewood into the back of your truck, your back window will explode. I've never had that happen in 50 years of throwing wood into a truck. I don't think my brother has. I don't think my other brother has. I don't think my dad ever has. Matter of fact, I don't know of anybody that's ever broken a window in their truck. Because you just gotta be a little careful, that's all. You don't throw it at the window, and you gotta use a little backspin. I've talked about that in the past. So you just gotta be careful where you're throwing it. Have a little bit of aim. Oh, there was a piece of locust I just put in. We were supposed to get some snow today, but luckily it hasn't happened yet. Another piece of locust, so I'm putting it in anyway. Well, I'll put it right here. He specifically said pine, so that's what he's gonna get. I think that's it. The rest of this is locust down here. And some ash, looks like. Oh, guess what I found? Guess what I just found? I'm gonna dig it out right now. Oh, it's moving too, just a little bit. Which means it's alive. It wants to sting me. Come on, baby. There she is, Miss America. Another hornet. It's so awesome to find them and to separate them. There we go. There's another one. That's 2 today. That's a good bee extermination day. I should say hornet extermination day. So, throw the rest of this pine in here. Now, right down in front of the camera, if you guys can see it, this is some locust that's right here. Because I remember when I got this load, it was also on my way home when I got these logs from the guy, there was, on the side of the road, there was a pile of wood and it said free. So I stopped and I got it, and there's some ash and some locusts in here is what was in that pile, I remember. Looks like we're getting down to where there's some more locust up here, which is good. I can put that in with somebody's mixed load soon. Right? Another one right here. That's all ash and locust looks like. Yep. Isn't that a great sound? Dry wood. I like it. I like it a lot. I think that is about it. Oh, there's a couple more pieces here. Not quite a face cord, just a few more little pieces on this side. Now, for those of you that are going to ask, because I get asked all the time, is what do I sell the pine for? I sell for $90 a face cord. And my hardwood I now sell for $120 for a face cord. I mentioned earlier on the video today, I believe. I think I did. Because I just raised my prices on the hardwood just recently. Let me put this one on. There's a couple more. There, now that's it for the pine here. Now, I'm gonna have to drive over. Oh, there's one right here. I'm gonna have to drive over, right over here, I've got another pile. The rest of this is just gonna sit until I do a mixed hardwood delivery, and I'll grab this up and throw it in with a different delivery. So, yeah, because this is some ash and locust in there. So, we're going to a different pile. That was about a 30-foot drive. Now I'm over to the other pile. Now some of this is white pine. This is white pine. Some of it is red pine. So he's getting two different kinds of pine. What a deal that is. Is that a deal or what? There's definitely some of both. See, this is red pine. You can see by the bark. For those of you that know your pine, it is red pine. And this is white pine, for those of you that know your pine. So a little bit of both in here. Some of this pile right here, boy, this spring it'll be 2 years old, because I got this 2 springs ago. Not last spring, but the spring before. So I've had it quite a while. And I've sold a lot of it. There's a whole section behind the camera here that's been sold, and over there has been sold. So it doesn't sell as fast as a hardwood, that's for sure. But I don't really market it much either, which this year I plan on doing that. I plan on advertising campfire wood, and I'm gonna try to sell it fairly cheap and market it that way, so people know that it's a good deal, and I think I'll sell it real fast. I did that a couple years ago with some mixed stuff that I had that was kind of a lower grade, and I sold a ton of that. I sold it all real fast by advertising it as lower than regular priced, and it worked really nice to do that. Sold it all, which was nice. And that's what you got to do sometimes if you've got stock that's getting old, because it won't last forever. Oh, that's ugly. I'll throw that one over there. I got some space up front. This is how I don't break windows. I take a whole handful like this, because I don't throw it up real far to the front when I'm throwing it in. I bring it up here and I just kind of throw it up in there like that. So I'll grab another armful, you'll see. Okay, I got about 8 pieces here, kind of like a bundle, like this. And I just come up to the front and I just kind of go like that. And it's in, like that. That way I'm not throwing them all the way to the front and taking a chance at breaking a window. So just be careful, that's all you gotta do, not be a maniac. And if I am gonna throw it from here, kind of throw it gently and have it so that it kind of just slides down into the hole up there. Like that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is what I'm doing. I'm just throwing it gently. There we go. Uh-oh, collapse. A couple more pieces and I think we'll be good. We'll have plenty of wood, because it's already looking pretty full. Usually I just fill it up so that it's a little more than full and it's a little more than a face cord. And I got yelled at by someone on the channel that I was giving wood away. Poor business practices. You're giving wood away. You're giving profit away. That's wood that you could be selling. If you do that 10 times, you're gonna have a whole nother face cord or two. Well, you know what? My customers are very happy and they call back over and over and over again. I sell a lot of wood. A little bit extra doesn't hurt. Kind of like a baker's dozen, which is 13 cookies, 13 cupcakes, whatever. Very common practice to over deliver, and it's a good practice to have without going extreme, obviously. But when they think of who they're going to call to get their next good load of wood, it's not going to be the guy that shorted them a little bit or the guy that had the exact right amount right down to the single piece. It's going to be the guy that gave them a little bit extra, because a little bit extra is what everybody's looking for. And if you're not looking for a little bit extra in everything you get in life, well, you're missing the boat, because the extra stuff in life is the good stuff. I think I'm done. This is it. I think I can squeeze in a couple more here. There. That's it. It is complete. A work of art I have created once again. We're going down the road to deliver it in about 40 minutes. I'm going to leave. You'll see it. We're going to go. See you then. So there it is. The wood is in the shed. It is complete. The day is at the end. And tomorrow I'm going to be back in the wood yard. You should come back. It'll be fun. Between now and then, get outside, get cutting. Good night, Irene.